Welcome to another episode of Hoops and Healing, where we talk hoops and we talk healing. I am your host, Amanda Hoy. Sometimes these two topics will blend together, and sometimes they'll be treated as separate topics because sports are healing and healing is a sport. Let's get into it.
Tunnel Fits podcast. We're here today with Amanda with Hoops and Healings. We're going to do a co-branded episode for you today. So, Amanda, tell my people who you are, and then I'll tell your people who I am.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I really love watching your content on TikTok and Instagram. So my name is Amanda, and I started my own podcast called Hoops and Healing this past May. And it's really meant to focus on women's basketball, but we do talk a little bit about men's basketball as well. And then healing practices, whether it relates to sports or it could also be treated as a totally separate topic. I grew up playing basketball since I was like 5. Played a little bit in college as well. So basketball has always just been really present in my life. And now I'm just like a super fan of the WNBA and everything. So, yeah.
So who's your team?
So I got to go with Chicago because that's where I live.
Okay.
I'm based in Chicago. I grew up in the suburbs just outside the city. And I've been living in the city now for about 10 years.
Oh, okay. So my co-host actually lives in Chicago.
Okay.
She lives in the outskirts. Her and I actually met for the first time because we both lived in Chicago at the time.
Oh, cool.
So we ended up just hanging out. So
where are you now?
I'm in Pittsburgh. So I'm Rock. I'm one half of the Tunnel Fits podcast. My co-host is K-Self, not here today. But yeah, I have loved sneakers and basketball all of my life. Born and raised in Connecticut, so I always say this: I have been watching really good women's basketball my whole life. So transitioning into loving a W is real easy. I love shoes. Started journaling in 2019. I started with like gameplay, but I didn't really like it. So, I talked to my editor. She was like, well, write about what you know, what you like. So at that time, I just started writing about shoes. What I could see, the tunnel wasn't what it is today. So just making the best of it. And then we kind of just turned that into a podcast because this is where it is now, right? People don't really read, but they'll watch your content and engage like that. So just kind of made those words into video motion.
Yeah, I chose podcasts as well, but I feel like it's also a combination of like content creation. So I say like podcast / content creation because you just get so much more traffic from like TikTok, for example, than I do right now on like people actually like listening on Spotify and Apple and all that.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I get you from here to here?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It takes time too, but we'll get there.
All right. So my first question: what inspired the name Hoops and Healing, and when did you realize basketball and healing were connected for you personally?
Yeah, so I was just brainstorming names one day. I knew I wanted to launch something, and I was just thinking, and it kind of just popped into my head, Hoops and Healing. I think I had maybe heard someone say like hoops and heels. And then I thought like, oh wait, hoops and healing. And I thought it just had a really nice like ring to it and like rolled off the tongue well. And I will say, like, obviously, I knew I wanted to do something with women's basketball. So the hoops part is obvious. And then I was also just on a very like personal healing journey at the time too. So just kept it simple and relates to my current situation.
Yeah.
And my tagline is sports are healing. Healing is a sport. Because I do think sports are healing, whether, you play and you've played with teams and it like helps you clear your mind, focus on something. Or when you're healing, it's definitely not a walk in the park. So it's very difficult. That's why I feel like a lot of people avoid it for so long. So that's kind of how I came up with the tagline too.
I like that. I think sports are also like somewhere to kind of escape, not a full escapism isn't great, but sometimes you do need that little, let me just watch this sport for an hour and a half and just kind of calm down and get my thoughts together.
The rest of the world. Absolutely. And get zoned in on a good game.
Right. Like the game last night. That was a good game.
It was like in the beginning, I think we were all like, what's going on? And then the coach getting ejected. That was so dramatic. I feel like that was
I think he might have touched her just enough. I watched it a couple of times. I think he might have just touched her just a little bit and she was like, no.
Yeah, because I know the announcers were like, "Oh, that shouldn't have happened."
Right.
But I do also think it depends on like the severity of what he said too, because we
Mm-hmm.
didn't hear what he said. Like he could have said something real bad.
Right.
And
Right.
if it's like real bad, I think that they will, you know, kick him out.
I think also off the Cheryl Reeves ejection, right? They're probably like, we're not playing at all. So he got there, and that's they probably lowered their limit, right? They probably like, hey, any little thing, out.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Cheryl's was definitely worse because I think she was like grabbing his arm and like,
yeah,
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 yeah.
that that might take the cake for the season because that was.
It was hard
I'm
to
like,
watch.
she's still on the floor for
She did
like
not.
2 minutes.
She was walking out and she was still yelling in someone's face, and I was like, "Who is she yelling at now?
Yeah,
Like, it's over."
it was bad. It was bad. I was like, that fine is gonna be crazy.
It was ridiculous. I didn't even know they could go that high. Like, I'm sure she's probably fine financially, but I don't know,
Yeah.
15 grand is like
Hmm.
hefty.
She was probably like, you know what, I'm gonna get it anyways. Might as well go out with a bang.
That's so true. She has so much credibility too. I think that's what also made it harder to watch.
Hmm.
She's not just like a first year coach.
Right, right.
For 15 years, like she is an icon in like women's sports. So that's why it was like particularly hard to watch for me at least.
Yeah, I was like, she. Oh, I was a little taken aback. Like, what? Like, she's so professional. Like, yeah, we've seen her kind of get hot before, but that was like extreme. I
Oh
was
yeah,
just like,
she took it
okay.
to another level.
Mhm.
But like it was the playoffs too, so everyone's like heated. I would even say like the Mercury, the way they were acting during that game was
Mhm.
tough to watch at times. Just like how frustrated they were, and yeah, like Alyssa Thomas particularly.
I
She was
know.
yeah,
That's my girl.
yeah. I like her too. She's really good. I would have I was rooting for the Aces, but like if AT got a championship, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah,
None of
same.
them are really my team, so
Yeah.
you know I got to root for Asia.
Of course, the 4-time MVP.
Yeah.
All right. So here on Tunnel Fits, we also talk a lot about self-expression. How does style, whether on the court or in life, play into your own healing journey?
Yeah, I really love this question because I love using style to express myself. Like even wearing this angel jersey, it's an angel jersey.
Mhm.
Um, like even if I were to just walk outside with this, I think like it tells people like I like sports, I like women's basketball, I like angel. Like right away, it's telling people like a little bit about me without me having to say anything. So I love putting together outfits. And just feeling confident with my style because my style is really sporty.
Mhm.
I would say it's more feminine leaning, but I do have like hints of masculinity that I like to add. So I like to say it's like an 80-20, like
Mhm.
80% feminine, 20% masculinity. But that 20% of masculinity is still like really important to me and still represents a lot of who I am. Cause I would never say I'm like a full on feminine woman because I
Yeah.
just feel that's not me. And I remember when I was like really little, actually, I would only wear like boys' clothes. And this is like elementary school. I
Mhm.
would only shop in the boys section, and I didn't start wearing women's clothes or girls' clothes until like middle school.
Okay.
So I
And your
think
parents didn't care?
no, yeah, they didn't care. I mean, they would try to be like, "Oh, like, do you want to go in the girls section or wear girls' clothes?" But it was never like, "Oh, you can't do that."
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, so that was also nice growing up. But yeah, so I would say, adding hints of masculinity or wearing a masculine fit like here and there kind of like honors my younger self in a lot of ways too. So I feel like having that kind of style where, people don't know I'm not like a lipstick type
Mhm.
of woman. But yeah, I would say that's very healing just having an outfit on that I know like represents that part of me.
Okay. I think for me, it always starts with shoes. If I'm not having the best day, I might be like, oh, let me just put on one of these shoes for the day, try to lift my spirits just a little bit.
Like
I mean, no matter what, like even when at work, because I wear steel toes, I may just wear it to work and change. But
yeah.
then, like, sometimes if I feel like that's not enough on the weekends or something, I don't have anything to do, I'll make sure I actually put on an outfit that I like. Just
Mhm.
kind of trying to, jumpstart yourself out of those slumps that we get in sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have all these shoes.
It takes time too to like put together
Hmm.
fits and stuff, and it's expensive, right? If you want to
Mhm.
add new pieces in, but I like that, like kind of starting from the ground up. I feel like I
Mhm.
start with the top and
The
then
top down. Mhm.
down, so that's really interesting. Yeah, I like that.
All right. The league's been vocal about mental health lately. What's one thing the W can teach other sports about normalizing the healing side of the game?
Yeah, I think it can teach other leagues a lot. And I think when you ask this question, I might immediately think of like men's leagues or men's sports because I feel like they're still like way behind in terms of the conversation around mental health
Mhm.
and struggling mentally. And it's no like secret that men are like less likely to talk about their feelings or their emotions and less likely to open up. So I feel like, for example, NBA players or NFL players working with more mental health brands and doing like campaigns like the W does could be
Yeah. Helpful.
instrumental
Yeah.
for like their millions and millions of fans, right? Just kind of starting that conversation and telling their fans like, it's okay to talk about this and promote it. So yeah, I think the W does a good job at that, and a lot of other leagues can follow them.
I agree. I think the soccer may do the best, and then followed by W.
The like NWSL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I follow them a little bit. My favorite player is Trinity Rodman.
Mhm.
So I would say I follow her the most, but I gotta get more into it for
Oh,
sure.
she's very well dressed. I
Yeah,
found out her about her because I seen the outfit. I was like, "Ooh, who is that?" I was like, "Trinity. Who is this?" And I got into. It. I was like, "Oh, she's like that too." Okay,
yeah, I really love her style. I would wear a lot of what she
just told her
wears.
stuff.
Very sporty. Yeah, her style is dope.
All right, so you're juggling content creation, real life, and staying centered. What's your go-to healing practice that keeps you grounded?
Yeah, so I definitely have more than one, but if I had to pick one, I would say meditation. I recently incorporated this into my routines. I've been doing it for like a little bit over a year, so I'm still
Mhm.
learning a lot about it, but it's helped me so much just being able to like sit still and rest my mind for 10 minutes a day, whether it's at
Mhm.
like beginning of the day to kind of set myself up or it's at the end of the day to kind of like wind down. It's helped me just learn the skill of being more present and also helps me process like any emotions I might be feeling. So it's helped a lot for sure.
Okay. Think for me, it's been stretching.
Yeah,
Just so I can like feel my body and be aware of my body and just stretching it out and understanding what may hurt or hey, I wasn't as flexible doing this yesterday, but just time to like really look inward. So that's what I've incorporated lately.
yeah, that's good, especially as we get older. Like stretching
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
important. I sometimes will like combine it. Like I do guided meditation too, so I use an app. I'm
Hmm.
not just like full on
And
just
yeah, yeah.
by myself. Maybe one day I'll get there, but yeah. So I like to kind of like combine sometimes the meditation with stretching, and I think that's helpful.
What's something you've learned about yourself since starting hoops and healing?
Yeah, this is a really good question that I actually had not even thought about.
Mm.
But I would say that just learning that I have more confidence than I originally thought. Um, Before I launched Hoops and Healing, I was pretty nervous to like talk in front of a camera or film myself.
Hmm.
So I think once I did it a couple of times, I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. And I can like slowly get better at it, kind of like work it like a muscle. And it just helped with my self confidence a lot and not caring so much about what other people think. Because I think in my
Hmm.
20s, I struggled with that a lot, as a lot of people do. And I'm in my early 30s now. So I think it's just a breath of fresh air to be like, yeah, I'm going to film this video of myself and post it. And I don't
Hmm.
care. I don't care what people think. I don't care what they say. I don't care if it gets a lot of likes. So that's something that, like, back in my early 20s, I would not be able to do.
Yeah.
So I think being at this place now is nice because I can just be like, I don't give a fuck,
Right. Just do it.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go after my goals and see what happens, and that's that.
My first episode was voice only.
Okay.
The second one, I had a guest and we recorded, but I only released the voice. But everyone's like, we want the video, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
fine, okay. So I felt like I was kind of pushed into the video portion, but now we're here. Now I don't mind it at all now.
Yeah, yeah. I have done like an audio only episode, and the one comment was like, "Oh, I want to see your face," and I was
Hmm.
like, "Okay."
Hmm.
And it helps, I think, especially with social media promoting it and everything. But yeah, it can be very scary at first if you've never done it before. But audio only is helpful. Like I've kind of reached out to people and been like, "Oh, you want to be on my podcast?" And they're like, "I'm too shy." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Oh, we could just do audio only." I
Yeah.
think that makes it easier.
If you could collaborate with any WNBA player or creator for a future episode or project, who would it be and why?
This is a hard one because I both have like a long list, but my number one would have to be Ellie the elephant. Obsessed with her. Actually, there's this little banner of her right here. You can't really see it,
I
but she's
see it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, she's up in my bedroom. I think she would be a really interesting collaboration because she can't speak,
Hmm.
but she's really good at reacting, like with her body language and her
Yeah.
movements. I think she would just be really fun because she's so entertaining, even when she's not dancing. Like I've been to a couple Liberty games,
Hmm.
and just the way she interacts with fans and players is really funny. Like if she catches someone in the stadium wearing the opposing team's merch, she will like cuss them out for 10 minutes
Hmm.
in a very New York way. So I think it would be a challenge, obviously. Like I would have to carry a lot of the interview, but I think it could be really funny. And then I would also maybe turn it into like part dance lesson. Like I asked her questions, but then she's also teaching me like some dance moves at the
Have
same.
dance. Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd
Yeah,
be a dope collaboration.
yeah.
That's not what I expected, but I like the answer.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's like someone who can speak.
All right. My favorite question to ask everybody on this show. Everybody goes like, "Oh, this is tough." I know. Your top five best dressed WNBA players of all time.
Yeah, this is super tough. So I'm glad that you did actually give me a little bit of time to think about it. But I got my five.
Okay.
So, and this isn't any particular order. The first one I got to say is Cheryl Miller.
Okay.
So Cheryl's style, particularly when she was the head coach of the Mercury,
Hmm.
she would wear a lot of the like button downs with a tie and like suspenders. And she just looked so confident and like so fire. I love seeing those old photos of her because I think it was more so like how she wore it too. Like she was
Hmm.
just really confident player, a confident person. Um, More so than what she was actually wearing. And then she's obviously also like very, very tall. But yeah, I would say that era of Cheryl Miller
Okay.
is iconic. And then I got to go with Skylar Diggins.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think in terms of like transformative W players, because you know she's a little bit on the older end now. So she was in the league before like the tunnel fits are the way they are, as you were saying earlier. So I think she was one of the first to really be more bold and wear different things. I want to say a couple decades ago, because how
Yeah.
long has she been in the league? About
Like
15.
12, 13.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, and also her style can be very edgy. So I like how edgy it is. I would definitely like want to wear a lot of her clothes for sure.
Piece of him.
Yeah. And then of course I gotta pick my girl Angel.
Okay.
Um, I love how like unapologetic she is, as she likes to say. And she does different things too. Also, I think having the money that she has helps.
Helps. Hmm.
She works with a lot of like top designers and stylists. But yeah, I love seeing her fits, and I think her outfits too are a little bit more risky.
Hmm.
Um, and then I would also pick Rakia. I think Rakia and Angel like are maybe kind of similar, but I do like to see what both of them are wearing each time. And then my last one would be Arike.
Okay. That's a nice list.
Yeah.
That's a nice list. I feel like Angel and Rakia are similar, but I don't, for, to me, Rakia is just a little more girly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Angel will wear like a little bit more like I don't not
Hmm.
feeling because she's obviously a very feminine woman, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Rakia's always like skirt,
Super
dress.
girly. Hmm.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Angel will wear like the oversized jerseys
Hmm.
and incorporate like more like hats and stuff.
Hmm. Both still very, very feminine to me, but I
Yeah,
think Rakia is just a
absolutely.
little bit more. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice top five. Everybody of all the guests we've had, only one person was a Skylar hater.
Really?
And she was like, "I don't like it," and all of us were like, but
Just like,
any other guest, they're like Skylar. Oh yeah, you gotta have Skylar. So I don't know.
did they say why, or they're just like maybe they just don't like her in general?
They didn't. They was like, I don't like the way she puts it together, and I'm just like, I do. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. When did your love for sneakers and fashion first start, and did you always combine it with your love for sports, or was it ever a separate situation?
Love for sneakers happened in middle school.
Okay.
I was always like a shy kid, so I got this one pair of shoes. Um, and when I wore them to school, everybody wanted to talk to me. Like, where'd you get those? Those are so nice. They were black, royal blue, and white Air Forces. I'm going to always remember these shoes. If they ever come out again, I'm going to buy them. Um, and it was just a different thing because normally again real quiet, real to myself. But this week, I was everybody's friend. Everybody wanted to talk to me and ask me questions, and that weekend, people went with their parents and got the shoe, and then they came back to school. It was like, yeah, I had to get these, and I was just like,
You
wow,
inspired the whole crew.
this is cool.
Yeah.
So then, when I started working in high school, I just buy my own shoes, my own Jordans. That's a whole lifestyle. From standing in line at midnight to get a pair of shoes to connecting with people in the store, paying an extra little $20 to make sure I had it. Like, it's a whole lifestyle that we can get into. Um,
That's true sneakerhead culture. Yeah.
when did they combine? I want to say when I started journaling, because I always enjoyed basketball and always enjoyed shoes. I just never, because I wasn't like a stellar athlete or anything like that, so I never put it together in that way. But when I started really getting into it and what I liked, I know shoes, so I just kind of started that marriage right then and there.
Yeah. Nice. And also obviously like Jordans are already connected to basketball.
Hmm.
Um yeah, I started recently getting some more like sneakers and like J's. I really like the ones. Like I just like
Once.
it classic, like the lows. Yeah.
Hmm.
I got a couple pair of those. All right. If you could switch wardrobes with any W player, who would it be and why?
For the longest, it was always Enrique. It was always Enrique.
Okay. Her style is
But
cool. I would wear a lot of her stuff too.
I guess this season she was just okay. She wasn't stellar to me. But also
She,
know she's like planning a wedding, so maybe she was just like, I'm gonna give you.
oh my god, I love
Um,
Beyonce. They're so
so if
cute.
it wasn't Enrique, who would it be? I like a lot of the stuff that Erica Wheeler wears.
Okay.
So it'd be one of
Yeah.
those two.
She wears a lot of like bandanas, right?
Hmm.
She's always got a bandana on.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, she's got a cool style too.
yeah, one of those two would be the who I pick.
Where do you want to see fashion brands and W collabs going in the future? I know that like the last 2 years, obviously there's been like huge uptick in brand collaborations, particularly some fashion brands. So yeah, where would you like to see those collaborations going in the future?
To more masculine people, right? We've got what's the Angel just said, Victoria's Secret. She just had Juicy Couture. We know Coach is a sponsor. But I want to see my more masculine people having good deals, like Tasha Cloud, Natasha Howard, Enrique, like them in their most authentic selves. Like, Starbucks have been phenomenal, so I can't wait to see what comes from them.
Yeah,
Um, and I mean from like a fashion sense, not just any kind of endorsement, but like fashion houses wanting to say, you know what, you guys are a bit more masculine, but let's do it.
like dress them in menswear, if
Yep.
you, because
Tina Charles would be really good. And
yeah,
she excellent at menswear. So Stewie, but yeah,
Paige,
yep.
Paige looks good. Paige leans pretty masculine. Um, okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Um, is there a player in the league whose style you think is underrated and should get more love?
Shatori Walker, Shatori Walker Kimbrough.
Okay.
I think she's very fly. She's behind me. I think she's very fly. She's not like a real star player, and I just like. If I say her name, people be like, who's that? But if I show pictures about, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think she's well dressed. I think she picks really good pieces. I don't know if she has a stylist or a shopper, but if she's doing that alone, man, she's amazing. I remember one season she had on these clogs from Urban Outfitters. I ended up finding them. When I posted her picture, everybody was like, "Oh my god, what are those? What are those? What are those? What are those?" And ever since then, I've been like, "See, she's got style. She's kind of low key with it, but she's got style."
Yeah, I love that. Do you have like a go-to piece, fit, style that makes you feel like the most yourself, or that you always like kind of gravitate to when, like you were talking about earlier, when you want to kind of lift your mood? I know you're really into sneakers.
Mhm.
So it could be sneakers or it could be anything else.
I don't know if I have a go-to. I think like normally like I'll wear Crocs to work and then put on my other shoes. If I'm feeling like that, maybe I get away from the everyday pieces or the two or three pairs I have by the door. Make sure I come to this crazy sneaker wall and pick out something else, something different, or something unworn, just to be like, okay, well, if I'm gonna wear these, I need to put out an outfit just to
Yeah,
work it like that. Yeah.
nice. I like that. Yeah, I think for me, I don't have like a go-to, but I would say just as long as there's like a sporty element, I know I'm gonna feel good. I wear a lot of like darker colors too,
Mhm.
like black, blues, grays, like a darker green. So I feel more comfortable and more confident in those. So the last question, this is a question I ask all my guests. Is there a healing practice present in your life right now that you want to share?
It's the stretching, right? In the morning when I wake up, sometimes I do it myself or I have a couple YouTube videos that I'll do. It's like stretching, but really it's meditation also because it's just a time for to be quiet, be with yourself, and like just really tune in with your body. And I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now, and I really enjoy it. I think one day I rushed out the house without doing it, and I was like, mm. So I definitely want that to be an everyday habit going forward.
Yeah, I think like it's so helpful to do something slow when you first wake up,
Hmm.
because I think we all like have habits of like we have a lot going on, to just wake up and be like go go go, to incorporate like even if it's like a super short time, like you only have 5-10 minutes, like it
That's
could
enough.
make or break the day. Yeah. And like you said, like when the day you didn't do it, like you notice the difference. And I
Hmm.
would say it's the same. Like if I wake up late or something and I'm not able to do my meditation, I'm like, I feel it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play cut bench start, based on some players' styles. So cut bench start, Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, and Aaliyah Nye. These are all Aces players.
Hmm. So, or I'm answering.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, with these three outfits, I'm starting Jewel. She's got on some off-white fives that I would love to have my hands on. I like the cutoff and I like the bag. So that's a start. Bench. Well, bench Jackie. Um, I like the outfit. I don't like the shoes, but that's okay. But yeah, she loves a little two piece and a peace sign. So the bench.
She does love a peace sign, yeah.
And lastly, cut and eye. It's not anything I would wear. So especially against the other two, she has to get cut.
Yeah. I would say the exact same thing actually. I think Jules' outfit looks really, really cool. And then Jackie's outfit's cool too. It's just like a little bit more casual. And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wouldn't wear this outfit on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's almost giving like a pirate. I don't know.
It's a little bit,
With the red,
literally, yeah.
I was like, it's giving a little pirate. I don't know if that's what she was going for.
Georgia Wilson, Alyssa Thomas, and Nafisa.
Dang, you made it hard. Okay. Based on skill. Ooh. Okay, those are like the three top MVP
They're
votes.
hard to see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously I have to start Asia. Obviously.
Hmm.
And then I would bench AT and cut Fee, which is really hard because I love Nafisa, but I think she's like a little bit younger than them.
Hmm.
So that's gonna be my excuse for cutting her.
I think I'm gonna go start Asia, of course. I think I'm gonna bench Fee and cut AT.
Okay. Switch.
Um, yeah, because again, I don't know my whole team, but Fee is a scorer. Might need a scorer. So,
That's true. Yeah, that is very true.
so
Okay. AT is also, she's got a lot of injuries. She's
mhm.
older. You could take that into account. Yeah. Start, bench, cut. These are going to be different like clothing items. So
Okay.
sneakers, hat, hoodie. Let's go. Sporty, simple.
Start sneaker. I don't even care what the sneaker is. We're starting there. Bench hoodies and cut hats. I really don't like hats, but they like me. So
I'm gonna say I like the Liberty hat.
thanks.
Is that your team? Or no, because you're in.
Um,
It's
Connecticut is my team. Connecticut is my team, right?
okay.
But like my first game was a Liberty game, and I love the seafoam color. That's why I think a lot of their merch is really nice to me
Yeah.
because of that color. But then I also like the Aces. So, but Connecticut is my team.
It's hard to pick one too. I think like
Yeah.
obviously we feel obligated to say like our hometowns.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also just like a very much like a player fan. Like if I really like a player, like I'm gonna follow them around to whichever team they go to because
Right.
they move a lot in the W. So I mean maybe there's a couple teams though where I'm like, I would never be
A few.
a
Yeah.
fan. But yeah, I would say Chicago Aces. I like the Lynx a lot. Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate your time.
Bye bye.
Bye.